Well, hi there everyone, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Monster. I am here, and if you remember what this is a giant scar left by a mining machine. Now, last episode we were off in a Mistcraft world. At the end, we started off by making up our nanosuit, which is still charging away quite happily. We went into the Mistcraft worlds because I said I wanted to get slimes. Now, my first attempt at the end of last episode went really rather badly. Let's just say I didn't get any slimes. Anyway, I had a think, and I suddenly realised, of course, that slimes will only spawn below level, about 68 in the swamp biome? In these Mistcraft ages, it looks like most of the worlds are generating at level 72. Which is why I wasn't getting many slime spawning, plus I wasn't getting many big slime biomes. But then I had a thought. I have this huge scar running right the way down through this Mistcraft world. It's going right the way down to bedrock, and at some point, I thought, this thing must cut through a slime chunk. So I set to with my filler, and if I can find exactly where I did it, it's here. I built a step down and set about filling in the bottom, because of course a slime won't actually spawn on bedrock. It actually needs a piece of, and this bit's a bit awkward, it needs cobblestone or an opaque block which isn't bedrock to actually spawn on. And down here somewhere there is a slime chunk, because I have had slimes spawning down here. You can see I've just cobbled over the entire base, and predictably, as you would expect, we have no slimes at the minute, but I have seen them down here. So this is what we call rather irritating, but you can see what I have done, and I'm just going to have to sit here and wait a few minutes for a slime or two to spawn naturally. So I'm going to cut out here for a second and be back when one does. Okay guys, we are back and we have a slime formed. It's only a little one. But the point is it's working. I can get slimes from here. It might not be the most efficient. Hello, slime. You are a very small slime, but you will do. Hello. So, it is a method which works. So let's just get this slime. And hopefully 2 slime balls. That is what we call quite lucky. So that is me done here, and I'm going to go back up to the overworld. So I don't know if you can copy these things with Mimikite actually, probably not, because the Mimikite typically only works with ores. I suppose we could check, but I'll do it later. I know you can make slime seeds, I might go and do that and grow these things, or I'm also going to make a better mob trap soon. A much more intricate one than my existing one. Okay, this one turns out back here, that's fine. Because I can show you the one other thing which I have been doing. Which, if we hop over here, you will see the multi-farm is back up. And the animals are very noisy. Do we still have 4 cows? We do. We have been losing sheep. You can see we've only got 4 sheep in there. I think we had 5 or 6. Somehow the sheep are, escaping out of that closed pen. I don't know how or why. Anyway, we have this. It is working. I have set it up to grow just wheat. You've seen me do these before, so I thought I wouldn't bother doing it on camera. There's a power cable running out across there to the one which is powering those machines. And this is a trench going from this farm hatch. I'm going to run some opaque conduit under here and run it straight in to this. This is the breeder. It takes wheat, of course, which is why I'm growing it. So I will let that fill that up, and then afterwards it will run somewhere else. Here we go, look, an escaped sheep. There's now only there's now only 3 in. That is very annoying. That's why this is blocked off as well, because if they wandered over here, they would get killed by the grinder, which isn't what I really wanted. So yes, I'll have wheat coming in through here, and then any excess going into the ender chest over there. I will also stop wheat being grown down there and make that all ender crops, because the middle one is wheat, and I can turn it into perhaps a slime crop, for example. Where is the spider? Because he is noisy. I can't see him. So back to the factory. So why do I want this slime? Well, I want to make another... Why are you so noisy, spider? I might have to turn the sounds down on the edit so that you can't hear him. I want to make something else for help with my blaze hunting, which, if you remember, is what I am going to do next. Obviously, what would be really handy would be a ranged weapon. I'm just going up onto the roof to see if he is up there. No, he isn't. Oh wait, a ranged weapon. There's a ranged weapon I have never actually used yet. And it is from Zeno's Relinquary, and it is called the handgun. The hunter's handgun. So I thought it might be more fun than using a bow and arrow to try and get them, or anything else like that. So let us make the hunter's handgun. It's a fairly simple thing to make. You make the hammer assembly, 2 hammer assemblies, 3 hammer assemblies. They're mostly made from iron and magma cream and a few other bits and bobs. So the first question is, of course, do we have any magma cream? We don't. It's easy to make, of course. It is just a blaze powder, and it should work with a ball of glue, which I hope I didn't entirely use up. No, we still have 6 balls of glue. We should still have a load of blaze powders, so we can quite easily make a load of magma creams. So beyond that, we need an empty magazine. This is just cobble, iron and a piece of glass. It's going to make 5 of them. I don't know exactly how many of those I will need, so shall I make up more? 5 should probably be enough, but I shall make up 10 because they are cheap. So that will allow us to make the hammer assembly, which is the base. Next up, we have this part. This is just iron ingots, magma cream and 2 ender pearls. We should have plenty of ender pearls. I don't know actually how many of those we are up to, but I am interested. 37. Maybe a trip to the end will come along soon. And finally we have this part. This part requires a blaze rod and a button. I don't know if we have a button. We have never made a button, can you believe? It is, of course, just a bit of stone. You can probably make it with the other stones, but there we go, 1 button. Coupled with a magma cream, they could go in there really. And our button makes the hammer assembly. So those are the 3 parts of our hammer. We now have to join them together into the hunter's handgun. You can see it takes a bit more iron, those 3 parts, and a ball of slime. The important thing is here that only a slime ball will work. We can't use any of the other types of slime. That's why I've spent so long hunting slimes. So, I was missing the parts, which are that there, that there, that there, and finally that there, and we get the hunter's handgun. Nice. It's just another ranged weapon. It is looking terrible in my hand. I don't know if that's a missing texture or what. But that is... there is this thing, isn't there? I am going to be forced to have pink things Terrible. Okay, so we have that. We have empty magazines. The other thing which you need are bullets. There are lots of different types of bullets, which do different types of damage. But I'm just going to make a neutral shot, which is the ordinary bullet. It takes gold nuggets, a piece of iron, some stone, and some gunpowder, none of which I should be short of. So I can make quite a lot of these, actually. Until I run out of gold nuggets, but that is fine. How much gunpowder do I have? Nearly 2,000, which is plenty. Right, now we have to learn how to put the casings or fill these. Okay, so what we need to do next is load this magazine. This is quite easy to do. All that it requires is crafting the empty magazine with 8 bullets. Okay, so we have enough for 2 magazines. And we have 7 empty magazines here. So the last thing which we need to do is load the gun, which is just a matter of holding down the right mouse button. And that should have reloaded it. Should have. Hold down until it clicks and then it's reloaded. Okay, so let's give this thing a try. Let's see if we can find that spider, which is being so annoying. Fortunately, it is night time. It sounds like it must be on that side of the building. Spider, where are you? No, no spiders. Okay, it's typical, isn't it? When you want a mob, they are nowhere to be found. Where are you, spider? I can hear you so much. Okay, so let us go and find another mob. Because there must be some out here in the darkness for me to practice my aim on. Okay, so that's a bit desperate, but there is a skeleton just down there, which has just this second despawned, I think, whilst I was looking at it. Oh, honestly. I could just hop back into that Mistcraft age. Okay, I can hear another skeleton. Okay, so I have been running around here like a fool for several minutes, so I'm just going to hop into a Mistcraft age. I have a book, and I will test it out in there. How about this one? Because if I remember, this one was a sea of mobs. If I get desperate, I am going to end up shooting a sheep. And now I am stuck in this. An Enderman. Shall we annoy an Enderman? I guess we could annoy an Enderman. I'd rather just take on a skeleton or something. There's some mobs spawning at long last. A spider. So, click, and it should hit him for 9. That's not bad. Aiming's not the easiest. But it gives us a decent ranged weapon. It takes a while for the bullet to get there. that does at least work, and this thunder is horrific. So as long as the mob doesn't move too much, how does it shoot through grass? Not bad. And I'm out of bullets already. So it does quite eat bullets, but I think it will be pretty good for this. So yes, I'm happy with that. It will be perfect for going on a blaze hunt to get some more blazes. And to get some blaze ghast tears. What am I saying blazes for? Hunting ghasts and getting ghast tears. So that is brilliant. Hop back through into this dimension. And the last thing that we have to quickly cover is, let's just head back into the factory. It is a beautiful day here now. If you look in my inventory, in my hotbar, you can see that I now have 15 of these. These are empty casings. I can craft these individually back into gold nuggets. It means that these things don't actually use gold to make. All that they use up is the 2 gunpowder, the iron, and the cobblestone. Oh, actually it uses smooth stone, does it? But whichever. So they're not really that expensive. I can now make another 16, take me back up to the 20, and reload a couple of magazines again. Just like that. And that's it for the handgun, and that will, I think, be it for this episode. It's a tiny little bit short, so let's just finish off with a little bit of building work, because I can just hook up the multi-farm. I don't have any of those for some reason, so let's just get a few made. I have, or I should have, a load of opaque item ducts, so that is good. And hop back over here, where my multi-farm should be showing, if I don't get stuck, that it is... It has not actually grown a single crop yet, it's not been up that long. But we can just quickly run a bit of item ducting out under here. Probably not that low, let's get this path up actually. Ah yes, we have the hill under here, don't we? So let's just run it along here. This annoying little cave system which exists. Right, how is that working? It is taking power in from the bottom, so that would be pretty darned bad actually. I really want to run power into the back of that, but I lack a piece of cable to do that with. So, having just got all the bits and pieces I need, there is another escape sheep. I'm sure the escaped sheep wasn't white the last time I looked. Anyway, I am going to run this conduit up the back and run... Where am I? I'm in the cows. So I can probably come out this way. Just like that. No cow. Bad cow. Bad cow. And put that bit of dirt back in then. Before any more of that happens. Run a little bit of this under here. And just up into there. Now we want this to be the preferred way to go, so it will vacuum. And we also need a bit of power in that. You're a very, very naughty cow. I'm going to have to go and get a safari net now, aren't I? To rescue you. Right, run this item ducting all the way under here. And sheep. You're a pretty naughty sheep as well. Yes, you won't like it down there. I'm going to have to rescue you too, aren't I? So, put the path back in, put the dirt back in on the top of this bit at least. This bit won't want dirt. This bit will want to be stone bricks. That needs to be an output. I want to put a servo motor into that, and I want to tell it to automatically pull. That's right, isn't it? Yep, so that should now be automatically pulling out of here when something grows, and it will put it through into the feeder, which will feed my cows and give me an endless supply of leather. So let's just grab... Hello, cow. Look, it's very nice that you want to help, cow. You're a very, very helpful cow. But honestly, cow, that isn't very helpful. I'm very sorry. Yes, and now you're stuck, aren't you, cow? Cow, you are so stupid. Yes. Well, that's just the right number of bricks to go there. I'm going to leave you down there for a while, cow. I hope you learn your lesson. Yes. And that will... I'm down to, what 2 cows in here? Really? So I'm going to go make up some safari necks off camera and get all my animals back in their rightful place for next time. In the meantime, I do hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I do hope once again to see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.